So let me just say what the comments I was planning to make, because I was going to really introduce my remarks by saying thank you, Don Imus, because I think that many people want to dismiss racism, or they go event by event and look at racism, but I'm saying thank you, Don Imus, because we are in a local, national, global system of racism, white supremacy, in which Don Imus's comment is a part of the fabric of racism as a total system. And I say one of the most important things for black people is if we were articulating 24/7, we are in a local, national, global system of racism, and so Don Imus's comments fit within the framework of that system. That's why he is a very, very, very popular radio personality or television personality, media personality, because over time he has said horrible things about Maya Angelou, horrible things about Gwen Ifill, the television cable person. And now he's saying horrible things about the black women on the Rutgers team, basketball team. And so if the great power that we have around this kind of situation is to be able to say this is part and parcel of a total system of racism, white supremacy, and that total system has to do with the genetic survival of the global white minority on the planet Earth. You see, now, if we had that framework and we were constantly saying that, I believe that's the greatest power that we have as black people. That's why we have a Katrina. That's even why we have a war going on in Iraq, where it's possible to kill thousands and thousands of black people whose lives are not supposed to matter, or millions of black people on the continent of Africa, and give them HIV/AIDS because of this system of racism, white supremacy.
Dr. Welsing, what's the psychological implications for especially young folks, but for African Americans as they listen and they hear the comments, but then they keep hearing them repeated and repeated as the media covers it? What kind of an impact does that have?
Well, if we don't understand racism, white supremacy, it can be devastating, because we're saying, well, why would he do it? Why would he do such a thing? But if we understand racism, white supremacy, it's, for example, if a person is in a military situation and they know that they are engaged in a war, and they are trained to deal with that specific war, then they can have a strong mental frame of mind to deal with whatever dimensions that war will produce. If the person is put in that situation, but they have no idea that they are in an ongoing war, then they are going to be vulnerable to emotional collapse. And so we don't want to think that we are in a continuous war that is about racism, white supremacy, that is about white genetic survival, that consists of 24/7, in one way or another, demeanment of black people.
And this idea that we should get over it, and move on, what do you make of that?
I'm not saying get over it.
No. This is what we've heard from a lot of folks, that we should get over it. And I've heard that from white folks, and I've heard from black people that this is common. This has been happening to us for the longest time. So maybe we should be concentrating on police brutality or other issues that are deemed to be more important. But from a psychological standpoint, why is this issue one that we should tackle in as you say, in dealing with the white global supremacy?
Well, I'm saying this is exactly what I'm saying, and why I say thank you, Don Imus, because we are being constantly hit over the head. A short time ago, it was Michael Richards. Do you see what I'm saying? Or we are still dealing with the treatment of black people in Katrina. And so this gives us an opportunity to say, wait a minute, Don Imus, wait a minute. Television, the entire television media, radio, newspaper, magazine network. This is the system of racism, white supremacy that nobody wants to talk about. The most dangerous thing that we can talk about in a situation like this or in a system of racism, white supremacy is racism, white supremacy itself.
Well, let's talk about countering that, because, you as a black woman, one of those who I know in the academic world early on wore your hair naturally, and I think it wasn't something in currency when I saw you doing it. What do you make of the comment, and how should we respond to being called nappy-headed?
I would say that I understand your comment, and that this is typical, this is necessary comment made in the context of a system of racism, white supremacy. I sent Don Imus the definition of the system of racism, white supremacy. Put it in the mail and sent it to him yesterday. I said, this is what you need to understand. Don't apologize, another whining white person apologizing and saying, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, I didn't have race in mind. No, the reason that he didn't know what he was doing is because, and he said, I'm not racist. But the comment is, again, because it is in a system of racism, white supremacy, which has supported him all of his life.
Is it possible to say something racist and not be racist?
No. No. I heard a black newspaper columnist say his comments were racist, but I know he's not racist. No, he's in a system. He is a participant in the system of racism, white supremacy. Let me share what my definition of racism is. Racism, white supremacy is the local and global system and dynamic, structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, which consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response, as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity, whether structured consciously or subconsciously determined. It consists of activity in economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war for the purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on planet Earth, a planet upon which the vast and overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, meaning black, brown, red, and yellow, by people who classify themselves as white, and on a planet in which the non-white people are all genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to genetic recessive white-skinned people. So this is the power dynamic. This is the purpose why it is necessary to continuously demean or police brutality or unemployment of black people and black males in particular, everything that we talk about, that we complain about, that we are upset about, is encompassed by this total system dynamic and power structure. But we don't talk about it.